Welcome again to Joe Stunner Boxing. Yeah, Ernesto Mercado, 23-year-old guy, Tito, he calls himself, 5'10". He's from California. He scored yet another knockout. He came in with 16 wins, 15 KOs, and he added to the list with the former two-weight world champ, JOSE Pedraza, who's now in his mid-30s, 35 years old. Pedraza is a former two-weight WBO champ. He held the super featherweight belt and then the lightweight belt. So he's had a good career, but he's at the end of it now. I mean, he came in with 3 defeats and 1 draw in his last 4. The draw was against Richard Comey. He lost unanimous 12-round decision to Jose Ramirez. He also lost a 10-rounder to Arnold Barbosa. And in his previous fight, he was stopped by Keyshawn Davis in 6. Well, Mercado got him out of there in 4 rounds. And, you know, this was, Pedraza, he's collecting paychecks now. If he's got money, he should really quit because we don't want to see him getting seriously hurt. But he slipped to 29 wins with 14 KOs, 7 defeats now with 3 by stoppage and 1 draw. Whereas Mercado, like I say, much younger man, 23 years old, moves to 17 wins with 16 KOs, no draws, no defeats. And he looks so much bigger than Pedraza in there. Pedraza, this is at 140. And Pedraza, you know, he came out with a bit of intent. You know, he's moving an awful lot, lots and lots of lateral movement just to try and have a look at Mercado, just to see what was going on. Maybe sort of try and sample a bit of the power, see if he hits as hard as his record suggests. Both these guys were orthodox fighters, but Mercado was the one doing all the hunting, you know, just walking him down. And you felt that Pedraza, who actually likes to come forward throughout his career, he's been a pressure fighter, lets his hands go, puts pressure on like that water on rock effect. He wasn't going to be able to do it, not at 140, especially at the age he is, because Mercado was just too strong and he hit too hard. He was too physically strong, as well as being, you know, sharper, younger, a bit more vibrant. And you could tell that Mercado was looking for his timing, looking for the counters, waiting for Pedraza to come in. The only way Pedraza could win is if he came in. Smaller man, really probably the eye of the storm was the safest place. The one thing he didn't want to do was get caught in that no man's land, that sort of mid-range thing. And it was all it's a bit like one-way traffic. Pedraza sort of doing his little bombing raids very, very quickly, boom, 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 and then out. Whereas Mercado, when he landed, there was a sort of ominous air about it. Well, in the 4th round, Mercado managed to, they exchanged, and Mercado managed to, I think he landed a left hand, and then he fired a right, and without a shadow of a doubt to me, it was behind the back of the head. And it just totally discombobulated Pedraza, who sort of skidded across the ring and fell backwards, got up, looked very shaky. He knew where he was, but his legs weren't working, and the referee stopped it. But I've got to be honest, that looked like a punch around the back of the head. One of the commentators said, the American commentator said it was on the ear. It wasn't. In fact, Ray Ford, the super featherweight contender, former featherweight champ, he said, I thought that was around the back of the head. That's what it looked like to me. And the replay clearly showed it. Now, I don't think it was deliberate, don't get me wrong, but I would have said that Pedraza at least deserved to not be called a knockdown. He should have been given 5 minutes, I think, to recover. Because, you know, the writing was on the wall. Mercado was definitely the one moving forward, the one looking like he was going to win, and he'd won the rounds. You know, Pedraza was going to have to pinch rounds, really, to sort of have any kind of chance of winning, and he was able to do that. This was a 10-rounder, by the way, not 12-rounder. But Mercado looked to me like he was on the way to winning, but no. That was a punch behind the back of the head. And there was a lot to admire with Mercado's work because he had a wily veteran in front of him. He did control the range very well. He sort of contained Pedraza's aggression. Pedraza just had to come forward. He had no choice if he wanted to win. And clearly the power was on Mercado's side, but that was a punch. It was kind of like the base of the neck. It wasn't like behind the head, you know, where the top of the spine is. It was around the back of the neck. Yeah, a bit of a disappointing way of ending it, but I've got to be honest with you. Looking back at the fight, I mean, Pedraza didn't land anything. I don't know what the statistics were, but Pedraza, he wasn't. He was throwing, but even when he threw, he wasn't landing. I don't know what the statistics, the CompuBox statistics are, but I doubt whether he landed much at all. Yeah, so Mercado moves on. Ernesto Mercado moves on with his career. At 23, he's got plenty of time. He clearly hits hard. He did show some skills. But for Pedraza, maybe it's time to call it a day. He's been a two-weight world champ. You know, walk off into the sunset now. Don't just stick around to collect paychecks and swap brain cells for a few extra quid. Hopefully he's looked after his money. And he's been a good fighter. But all things must come to pass. All right, well, what did you think of the fight? What do you think of Mercado? Do you think he can go places? Do you think he looks the part at 140? He had a little sort of exchange of verbals with Shackles Stevenson, who was sitting ringside. They were having little words, but I think Stevenson would probably outbox Mercado at the moment. But Mercado's a young man. He's only 23. He's got time to hone his craft. I'd like to see him do a few more rounds, but who are you going to get in there? I think he needs a couple of do 10 rounds a few times just to get a bit more experience. But he's coming along nicely. And anyway, look, that's my opinion. You tell me yours. Some of you American guys are probably more familiar with Mercado than I am. I have seen him fight several times before. But how far do you think he can go? Leave your comments below. And if you're new, subscribe to the channel. That would be great. You'd be helping us out. Spread the word about Joe's Son of Boxing. And, oh, yeah, throw us a like as well. You know those likes that they do? They count them, apparently. I still can't work out why, but they do. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. What have we got to come now? Pacheco, haven't we? Yeah, Diego Pacheco. Red hot favourite, but he's in against an undefeated guy. And I'm going to watch that one, and I'm going to do a review of that, so look out for that. Steve Nelson is the opponent, undefeated in 20, but Pacheco a red hot favourite. Have a look for that video. It's coming soon. Meanwhile, thanks a lot. I'll catch you later. Bye for now.